Welcome everyone. In this video, we are going to see about Amazon Lightsail. So, what is Amazon Lightsail? So, Amazon Lightsail is an easy to use cloud platform that provides everything that we need to build an app or website with an affordable monthly fee. So, Lightsail Containers announced at the reInvent 2020 aims to make it easy for us to build a container-based app and website. So to deploy containers in Lightsail, so we will be creating a container service, and that only specifies a few parameters and their performance and their scope. And remaining things like AWS will be managing the compute, network, and traffic management for us. And container service, and in one of them can be chosen as a public endpoint. And Lightsail actually provides a secure, load balanced HTTPS endpoint to access the public endpoint. And also, we can create a website or an app with just a few clicks. We can build our own website or we can build our own app. And the remaining thing, like automatically, it will be configuring the network access and the security environment. And also the main thing is like we can easily scale as we grow or migrate resources to the broader ecosystem. We can easily scale up. And also we can easily, as I mentioned before, we can create a website or app within a few clicks. And with respect to the security and the reliability, we can means we can run our application in the world's largest cloud platform. And also, Amazon Lightsail offers easy to use virtual private server instances, containers, storage, database, and more for one low monthly fees. So here you can see these are all the use cases which we discussed now. We can launch simple web applications, and we can create custom websites, and also we can create a build small business application in future. If you are going to scale up, that is also, it is very much easier. Now let's start a lab where we will be creating a test Lightsail container, and in that we will be deploying a web server. Web server, like we will be using a Nginx web server. Okay. So I have already logged into the AWS account via Lightsail. So once you are logged into your AWS account, so this will be your first welcome screen. Welcome to Lightsail. Let's kickstart your cloud project. So by launching your first instance. So before that, I need to show something. So I'm just clicking on I will create something later. So once that is being given, this will be your home page, where it will be showing some recommendations, and it says good morning to us. And here you can see there are multiple features are available, like instance, containers, database, networking. So these things we can easily create it. Now we can go for containers. So uh, basically we can create a container service, and from that we will do a deployment, and that deployment will be a Nginx web server deployment. And before we create a container service, so basically what is the container services? It is a highly scalable, fully managed compute and network resource we can use to deploy the containers. And when we are going to creating a container service, there will be two options will be available. One is power and another is scale. Let me click create container service so that you can see what is that two options which I am saying it right, power and scale. So once you have clicked create a container service, here first thing is like it will be asking to select the location, right? So based upon the location, some of the CPU or memory, maybe it will be not available or it may be very less. So based upon that, you can select the region. So I am selecting the region as Oregon. So if I click change AWS region, so these are all the AWS region the Lightsail is available. So I am selecting US Oregon. So once I selected US Oregon, it will be asking me the power. So the power is specifies the which amount of CPU and the memory of the container service. So the available powers here you can see it, right? Nano, micro, small, medium, large, and XL, X large. So and they are having some common term like NA, MI, SM, MD, LG, XL. And so basically, as we are going to doing it for testing purpose, so I'm just keeping it as a MI micro itself. And the next thing is the scale. So scale is basically it's the number of nodes to compute workload to be deployed across. So each node will be having a copy of the container, and the request are load balanced for all the nodes. Okay. So the container service can use container images, for example, that are available in public container registry, such as Docker Hub, or the images we push to container service from our local machine. So that is also possible. Video, I will show how to run the container in the Lightsail. So for now, we will create a Lightsail container service from this console. So I am giving the scale as 2. Okay, so here you can select up to across how many nodes you want. You can easily scale it. So when you are going to scale up, just you can see it, right? The container service cost also will be increasing. So just make sure according to your load, you can have it the scale. So currently I'm giving as 2, and I'm giving a container name as, here we can give a container service name, and it must also be a lowercase. Okay, so just make a note of it. And when I give a container service name, right, you can see the domain name, it is getting changed. See, so the default domain of a container service will be like this is the one. So once our container service has been created, we will get the random GUID as well, so that we can easily access it. So that's it. So you can see it, right? Then like only like 3 options, like the only two options we have given. One is the power and the scale. So that's it. We can just easily create a container service. So by clicking on here. So once I clicked it, okay. Here you can see the status. Okay, here you can see the status as pending. So after some time, it will transition to the ready state within some couple of minutes. Here also you can see creating system resources, and then it will be next going to the further level. So we'll wait for some couple of minutes. So in the meantime, I will just give a walkthrough on the console. Here you can see the deployment. So once that this has been in ready state, I will show like how to create a deployment in the Amazon Lightsail for this particular container service. And here you can see the capacity, how much capacity we have given, like power and scale. And here you can see, for example, if I'm going to use any public image, right? So here you can, we can easily get it, or we can easily push to the Lightsail account to deploy to the container service. And here also we can place our image or a ECR private repository as well. And here you can see it, right? The public domain will be having a random ID, and it will having the region name as well. So if you don't want these things, we can also configure custom domain as well. Okay. And this is the Lightsail matrix. So now you can see It is now creating the network infrastructure for the Amazon Lightsail container service. Next, you can see it is provisioning the certificate. Now you can see the Amazon Lightsail service. The status is ready. Okay. Now, when I click this URL, okay, this is the public domain, so we can access it. But now, if you see 404, do you know why? Because there is no container running in this Lightsail, right? In this container service, just we have created a service, but inside the container service, we haven't deployed in any of the containers. Okay, so currently what it will be doing, allowing is like it allows you to create custom domain instead of relying on the default domain. We can create some custom domains, and it's also in the Lightsail console itself we can do that as well. So in this video, we have seen like how to create a Lightsail container service, and also you have known about the power and scale parameters for configuring a container service capacity, and also we can change the capacity parameter after creation without downtime. So as you can see it here, right? So here you can see the container service capacity. If I want to change the capacity, right? So easily I can change it. Like if I give change capacity without downtime, we can easily upgrade the container service of Amazon Lightsail. So if I want to do SM or MD, or if I want to scale it accordingly, it will be getting scaled. Thanks for watching this video. In the next video, I will be explaining about how to perform a deployment in the container service which we have created, right? So I will be sharing about the deploying containers to Lightsail container service. We are going to see how to deploy containers to Lightsail container service. Before we start, I have created a video for how to create a Lightsail container service. So this video is a continuation of that. So if you didn't watch it, so kindly watch the previous video I have given in the description as well. So let's start. So now we are going to see how to deploy containers to Lightsail container service. So basically, Lightsail container service can use container images from public container registry or from our local machine as well. So now what I am going to do is how I'm going to deploy container from public images. So so to deploy container on container service images to container service, so basically we need to define a deployment. So here you can see it, right? So we need to create some deployment. So, and each deployment can have up to 10 containers in the specification, and one container will be specified as being publicly accessible through the container service domain. So here you can see it, right? This is through the container service domain. One container will be made as publicly accessible through the specific customers through our container service domain, and the selected container is referred to as the public endpoint of the deployment as well. And also we can also specify common container parameters including ports and environmental variable as well. And our container service can have one deployment deployed at a time. So for example, if I'm going to deploy, so at a time one deployment it can be run, and that is referred to as the current deployment. So now what we are going to do is we are going to create a deployment of Nginx web server. So how to do that? So you can click on create your first deployment. So that is done. And I'm giving a container name as web. And the image here, I'm going to give Nginx image with the version of 1.19.1. So that will be used as an image tag to select a specific version of Nginx. So if you want to use in another version, you can easily update the version. So Nginx colon 1.19.1. And once that is being given, here you can give any command that needs to be launched, that also you can give. So I'm leaving as a default, and I'm there you can see open port, right? So I'm giving an open port, and the port number I'm giving as 80. And if we come down further, there is a public endpoint. Okay. So the public endpoint I'm giving as a web. And the remaining configuration I'm giving as a default, like port and the health check. So these things will be happening. So I'm giving as a default one. So why I'm not I'm not selecting a port, but it is coming as a by default is since there is only one available and it is automatically get selected. So if you are having multiple things, it will be coming in the drop down. So that's it. So we can give save and deploy. So here you can see once I given save and deploy, and if I want to see the log, here I can click on open log. To see the container related logs, I can see by clicking on this open log. So basically what this will do, if I come down here, you can see it will create a deployment version and it will start the deployment. So the container service will track the deployment version by making it easy. Like for example, I have made some correction to this particular application. So if I want to redeploy it, so by with the respect to the version, it will the container service will get it tracked. For example, if I want to something gone wrong, I need to redeploy. Then also with the version, we can easily redeploy it. So that is also I will be showing in the further video. So the deployment version is initially it will be in a status of deploying as it is not completely as it is being completed. So within some couple of minutes, the status will be changed to deploying to active. Let's wait for some couple of minutes. Here you can see it, right? So it is creating the deployment like 5 of 7. And once it became active, we will click on our public domain link and let's see what is the default web page will be coming in. So in the meantime, can you comment like what will be the web page will be coming when I click on the custom domain? Can update in the comments. Yeah. Now you can see the status in running stage. And if you come down, the deployment is also in active. Now, if I click this public domain, okay. So before it was in 404, no such service. Now, if I click this public domain, yeah. So I think we all have guessed correctly. So we have got the basic Nginx web page. So this confirms like our deployment was successful and the public endpoint is also accessible. And also notice that like the endpoint is secured via a TLS certificate as well. right? By default. So that is an added advantage. Okay. So in this video, we have created a container deployment using a public container image. For example, to push image from your local machine to the container service, you can use the any of the AWS CLI or on the AWS Lightsail push container image command. In particular, this command, if you use, automatically you can push your local machine if you are having any image. So that image you can easily push to the container service. So that container image will then be available to use in deployment in your container service. So thank you for watching this video. In the next video, I will show how to monitor the Lightsail container service deployment. And in addition to that, we will be seeing how to redeploy uh, this container service, and as well as how to roll back also. We are going to see how to monitor the Lightsail container service deployment. So before we start it, I have created in two video, one for creating a Lightsail container service and deploying containers to Lightsail container service. I have given it in the description and also in the thumbnail, so you can get it checked, and then you can come in here so that you will get an understanding about the AWS Lightsail container service. So let's start it. So Lightsail container includes, it also have a facility to view the logs and the metrics for deployment. So here you can see the metrics and also the deployment also you can see, and also if you want to see the logs of the deployment, that is also possible by clicking on open logs. And also, if I want to do a new deployment, okay, for example, a release has been done, okay, so my team is saying I need to update it with an updated release version. So how to do that, right? You can easily modify your deployment, and for example, instead of 1.19.2, I am just giving 1.19.2. Okay, so here also I can easily modify my deployment, or otherwise here also I can do it. So first I will do it from here, and the second thing, I will redeploy it to the previous version itself, right? So I'm just going on here, I updated it, and I'm giving save and deploy. So now you can see deployment version 1 and deployment version 2. So deployment version 1, it is running, means it is having 1.19.1, and the second, which is in deploying stage, right? So that is been running in that is being configuring in 1.19.2. So now let's see. It is in the deploying stage. We can see it, right, how fast it is happening, and also there will be no downtime involved. Here also you can see the metrics of our container service. Like we are not using much, right? It shows like 0.4 percentage and 0.05 percentage likewise. So we can see CPU and memory utilization of our container service. And also I have said, right, in the previous video, if I am going to push my local image to container service, like Amazon Lightsail container service, you can, they have given the steps, you can follow these steps, and you can easily push your container image to Lightsail, and also you can easily create the container service. And also, if you are giving container service access to private repositories like Amazon ECR, so that is also possible. Let's see, it is still in deploying. Now you can see our version 2 is inactive and automatically. So the good thing is like here, if you see till when it is in before, it means it is in the deploying stage, the version 1 will be inactive. Once that is become active, and also if it is inaccessible, then only it will be the deployed second version will be become active, and then it will be become in running stage. So let's click on this public domain and let's see our Nginx web page is coming or not. Yeah, it is good. Deployment is successful. And now here also you can see the image is running in 1.19.2. And if I want to, for example, okay, I made some change, or my public domain is not accessible. Okay, so in that case, I need to do the redeploy, right? So to do redeploy also, it's very much in a single click. You can click on here and modify and redeploy. So it will there will be a video will be coming. So do you want to create a deployment from deployment 1 originally deployed on with the date and time it will be coming in. So I'm just clicking yes, continue. So here it will be showing the specs like image and port and those things will be coming in here, and I'm giving save and deploy. Now again, it will not coming as the same version 1. Why? Because it will be getting tracked like each and every change with respect to the version. So now it will be in deploying stage. Now it will be running in within some minute. We'll give some couple of minutes, so it will become an active stage, and the deployment, the version 3 will be in active within some couple of minutes. So in this video, we have explored the Lightsail console logs and metrics for the container service. And also, we have verified the application is working correctly, and also is there any sufficient capacity in the container service to run the workload. And in addition to that, we have deployed a new deployment version using Nginx 1.19.2 image, and then we have done some experimentation with redeploying the original version to simulate rolling back in case of an application error. Thanks for watching this video.